My, uh, we've been studying Acts in Sunday school, and we will continue to. Um, and of course, when the subject of tongues comes up, a lot of people, I know some people that as soon as you say tongues, talking about in church, uh, they immediately do the little kid thing, la 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 la. I can't hear you, la 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 la. You know, uh, they and they will never learn some of the differences because of that. They don't they don't want to hear it because they've been told that it's a bad thing. Um, I I know some family members that have said all of my life that I've known them um, that it's a bad thing. Uh, they act like it's just something horrible. It's of the devil and all of those things. But um, there are a lot of things that people don't understand, like the gift of tongues. That's not the same thing as speaking in tongues. And I urge you all to search this for yourself and find out what all these things mean. Um, the gift of tongues is different from speaking in tongues. Speaking in tongues is different than an unknown language, prayer language, however you want to say it. And there's just a lot of different things involved there, and that's one thing that confuses a lot of people. But they need to learn the difference. And of course, before you study anything in the Bible, pray for understanding. And with all that getting, get understanding. But today, I'm not going to be in Acts. I'm going to be in 1 Corinthians. And it's going to be in chapters 13 and 14. Chapter 13 starts out, verse 1, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. He's just saying that being, loving people and treating people the way they should be treated. I've not always been good at that, but we should strive to. But over in chapter 14, it says, follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that you may prophesy. The gift of tongues is one of the spiritual gifts. In verse 2, it says, for he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God, for no man understandeth him. Howbeit in the Spirit he speaketh mysteries. But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. See, that right there is the unknown language. The things that I was talking about a while ago. It's not the same as the gift of tongues. And this is the unknown language. But it's between you and God. It's not about getting up in church and speaking in tongues. But it says, I'm going to continue here. But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort. He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself, but he that prophesieth edifieth the church. Again, that's between you and God. That's your prayer language. It's what a lot of people call it. And you don't do that in church. You don't get up there and try to impress people with this. Anyway, in verse 5 it says, I would that ye all spake with tongues, but rather that you prophesied, for greater is he that prophesieth than he that speaketh with tongues, except he interpret, that the church may receive edifying. Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you, except I shall speak to you either by revelation, or by knowledge, or by prophesying, or by doctrine? And even things without life giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harped? For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? That's like, bugler sounds retreat instead of charge. Well, that's confusing, isn't it? People are going to go, what? Or, suddenly starts playing taps and out in the battlefield. That wouldn't make any sense. So likewise you, except you utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, how shall it be known what is spoken? For you shall speak into the air. There are, it may be, so many kinds of voices in the world, and none of them is without signification. Therefore, if I know not the meaning of the voice, I shall be... Did I skip the page? Okay, sorry. Therefore, if I know not the meaning of the voice, I shall be unto him that speaketh a barbarian, and he that speaketh shall be a barbarian unto me. Even so you, forasmuch as you are zealous of spiritual gifts, again, one of the spiritual gifts is the gift of tongues. Seek that you may excel to the edifying of the church. Wherefore let him that speaketh in an unknown tongue pray that he may interpret. For if I pray in an unknown tongue, my spirit prayeth, but my understanding is unfruitful. What is it then? I will pray with the spirit, and I will pray with the understanding also. I will sing with the spirit, and I will sing with the understanding also. Else when thou shalt bless with the spirit, how shall he that occupieth the room of the unlearned say amen at thy giving of thanks, seeing he understandeth not what thou sayest? Now, it says, for thou verily givest thanks well, but the other is not edified. I thank my God, I speak with tongues more than you all. Yet in the church I had rather speak 5 words with my understanding, that by my voice I might teach others also, than 10,000 words in an unknown tongue. Brethren, be not children in understanding, howbeit in malice be you children, but in understanding be men. In the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people, and yet for all that will they not hear me, saith the Lord. Wherefore tongues are for a sign, not to them that believe, but to them that believe not. But prophesying serveth not for them that believe not, but for them which believe. Okay, so, and I urge you to finish reading this chapter right here. I'm not going to continue reading with it here, but I'm going to speak more on things that, like here where he says, I'd rather speak 5 words with my understanding, that by my voice I might teach others also, than 10,000 words in an unknown tongue. Now, my point here is people use different words, and the main reason why I speak plainly when I'm teaching, preaching, whatever you want to call it, is because I was taught as a police officer, if you go above 5th grade level in writing a report or testifying, what if you have someone reading this report or hearing you testify that doesn't go above a 5th grade level? In other words, it's very simple. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing, and I use words that Beth doesn't understand. Just the other day, and I don't even remember what the word was. She just, I was saying something, and I can always tell when she's thinking, what's he talking about? And so I looked at her and I said, what? And she said, would you speak English, please? And I said, okay. So I put it another way, which she understood it. But people don't understand the differences. Like up north, and I have some friends up north, so y'all are going to understand this first part, maybe not the second part. Y'all eat 3 meals up there: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Well, down south, we eat breakfast, dinner, and supper. So what does dinner mean to you? Up north, it means supper. Down south, it means lunch. So we need to understand how things work. Like it's talking about here, if they don't understand you, you're wasting your breath and their time. It's that simple. You can't get up here. I could get up here and enrich your knowledge with prose and all this kind of stuff. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm wasting my breath and your time. And that's what he's talking about here. That unknown tongue, that's simply between you and God. You're not to get up in church and try to impress people with all these things. And you need to understand that when you teach or preach, if you get up there and try to impress people with your verbiage, if somebody doesn't understand you. I went to a church one time, and this guy, I'm going to try not to, go too far into this, but this guy got up there and was speaking Latin. And be honest with you, I just went to that church because I wanted to be with this girl that went there. She and her parents went there. And when the service was over, I asked her, I said, what was he saying up there? She said, I don't know. And I said, so what good does it do to come here? She said, my parents come here. Okay. She's not learning anything. And who knows, that guy might have been up there saying, it's a good thing Eve listened to that snake. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. If I'd been in the Garden of Eden, the way I am, that snake would have got out about 2 words, and I would have said, let's see, there's trees around here, so there's got to be a stick. She's not going to hear the rest of what he's trying to tell her, because we're going to be eating snake for supper tonight. Okay. Anyway, but the point is, when you say things that people don't understand, you're not doing them any good. And the unknown language, like I said, that's between you and God. That's where Satan can't understand you, is what it comes down to. But neither can people. So, don't try to impress people with that. Just do it to edify yourself. Anyway, like I say, I would love it if you read the rest of chapter 14, but I am going to read the last verse, which is 40. Let all things be done decently and in order. So, anyway, I love y'all. We'll see you next time. Bye.